This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Okay, itong linggong ito dito sa ating Journeys, pag-uusapan natin ang bisita po ng ating kasama si Ado Paglinawan sa Estados Unidos at mag-update po siya sa atin yung mga nadaluhan niya ng mga diskusyon, of course in relation to the Philippines and to Asia. The first part, yung mga obserbasyon niya, yung second part, yung trade war. Ano bang nakikita niya sa mood sa Estados Unidos tungkol dito sa trade war ni Trump. But first of all, Kaado, you were in the States just a week ago for around 10 days, no?
Yeah.
Kamusta? Anong mga naramdaman mo? Anong mga obserbasyon mo?
Well, unang-una, the flight I took was the inaugural flight of Cathay Pacific to Washington Dulles Airport. I found that significant because may mga nangyayari mga kaguluhan between China and the U.S. And yet, yung access ng Cathay Pacific is going into the heartland of Washington, D.C. And it's a good flight because the total flying time is only 16 hours. Now, to those who are not familiar with it, that used to be somewhat the flying hours from California to the Philippines. No? Nag-improve ang mga aeroplano. At the same time, yung mga routes na bubuksan. Coming back to the Philippines, I was surprised. This flight took a direct flight papasok sa Russia. Mismo dun sa halos gitna ng Russia. Farther than Korea, pababa ng China. So there are things going on that are not being discussed, small details. But para sa akin, this spells access. There is so much fire in the airlanes, in media, on the air.
In the airwaves, no?
And yet, access is being opened up.
The skies are more open.
The skies are more open.
When you expect na dapat nagsasarian kasi nga mainit ang mga diskusyon sa media, sa television, sa news, ano.
So my impression is basically starts with that.
That's a good observation.
Mga commonsensical lang muna, no? And then when I was there, I tried checking what's happening in the shops. Of course, I passed by
mga tindahan,
mga Target or what we lightly call Target in the U.S.
Yan ay isang chain ng supermarkets?
Chain ng supermarkets. Target's one of the biggest.
So that's where you go, not Walmart.
No, I also went to Walmart. No?
Kasi, ano pa yung mga, give us some names of these shopping centers or supermarkets, grocery.
I believe these two are the largest. Basically, Walmart.
Ang alam ng tao dito, Walmart.
Oo.
Pero yung Target, it's not very well known.
At saka maraming bumabati ko sa Walmart because Walmart really
pays very low to its employees.
Hindi lang yun, but maraming made in China doon.
Okay. Ang Target hindi masyado?
Nagagalit yung ibang mga nationalists.
Ang Target hindi masyado?
Ang Target mix match, no? But this might be a very trivial matter. No? People in the Philippines are complaining about inflation, no? About food products, and obviously so. But nung bumili ako ng favorite underwear ko, underpants, I noticed that when I last went there, which was more than 6 months ago, this was 12 for 5 pieces in a pack. Aba ngayon ay $17. Dati 12.
$5
So
difference.
this is about 40% inflation under my pants going on. I found it funny kasi kung may nananalo sa trade war, bakit ganun kalaki yung epekto sa ano? And then I looked at it. It's made in Vietnam. And alam naman natin, pagka mga garments, these are industries that were devolved by China to Myanmar, to Laos, to Cambodia, Vietnam, and perhaps lower pa. We get a little spatterings of this, but basically, yung mga nando sa peninsula up to Thailand, nakinabang dyan. So, these are small, and wala na akong mabiling iba because the prices are really high. So, I am saying to myself, I will no longer enjoy shopping in the U.S. Mas mura pa yung nabibili natin sa Green Hills. And lo and behold, we're luckier because we have the ukay-ukay. And we can flex. Our people can flex from the high end to the lowest end without difficulty. Yun ang mga thoughts that came through my mind as I was spending a few days there.
So these are the most significant observations mo immediately. But we can discuss a bit more about the economic situation there in our second part when we talk about the trade war because that's going to be part of it. But on the other hand, yung mga diskusyon na nadaluhan mo, meron bang mga round tables and so on?
In the politics side, for instance, I was talking to a group there that was from moderate to pro-Duterte. And,
so mga PhilAms yan o kano?
I beg your pardon?
PhilAms or kano yan?
PhilAms. And what I get from there is their impression that Trump is really just maneuvering to get a little bit more political power because there is elections going on right now. In November, may elections sa US, midterm elections to, no? And is trying to just get a little bit more. The other thing that was very much in the headlines was the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation hearings in the U.S. Congress. And that's another hurdle for Trump, who wants to land a conservative associate justice into the U.S. Supreme Court. While a lot of people are worried, mostly Democrats and left-leaning people, because Kavanaugh, they fear, might tilt the balance in the Roe versus Wade legalization of abortion in 1973.
Pero that's settled na, di ba? That's settled na, di ba?
It can be revived anytime and it can be rescinded if there is a motion or a petition. But what strikes me there, because this is an issue close to my heart, is that 53 million so far, 53 million babies.
Abortions have been aborted.
Hindi po biro yan. 53 million abortions have been conducted in the U.S. since 1973.
Well, but that highlights the importance of any Supreme Court appointment, whether in the U.S. or sa Pilipinas, the struggle.
So I see a U.S. in fast transition, and possibly with the growing millennials questioning more of the old values na dinatnan nila. I think there will be a slow shift from liberal thinking into back to a little bit of conservatism, because the formulae of the past have not worked. And especially after 2008, with the coming of Barack Obama, whom the Democrats adore as their icon. Pagdating sa economics naman, it was in 2008 that I lost a lot of my properties there. No? All my children except one are American citizens now. And my wife is an American citizen. I am a Filipino, natural-born citizen, Filipino passport holding. I will not give that up. But I have some benefits na nakikinabang ako dahil ang wife ko retired in America. And so I become part and parcel of that benefit, no, that she's getting. But what I'm saying here is yung youngest ko is a millennial and he reflects a lot of the questioning going on. And he was a scholar at the University of Virginia. All of us 4 to 5 years, no? Almost masters na siya. We're all on scholarships by the University of Virginia. But where is he right now? My son is based in Beijing and Hong Kong, teaching Chinese there. And the company he works with sends him around the world to teach English-speaking people Chinese. My son has mastered 5 dialects, Chinese dialects. Eh, anong ginagawa ng anak ko dito sa China? When, you know, because nakita niya sa millennial na marami siyang kini-question about U.S. values. And he finds his real root siguro in being Asian. By the way, my son is a natural-born American because he was born there, and a natural-born Filipino because of my citizenship. So this is one guy who perhaps in a few more years can tell us more about his reflections about the U.S.-China, because he is very much in the middle of Chinese affairs right now.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yun
Well, I've been reading that there are socialists winning local elections in the U.S. I don't know kung nasusubaybayan mo yun. No?
hindi masyado, pero I'm aware of it.
Oh. So definitely, may mga nagbabago sa Estados Unidos, and ang nakikita natin yung constituency ni Trump, na ang impression ay mga rednecks, no, but
Yes.
more traditional values ng Amerika. They are anti-abortion itong constituency ni Trump, di ba?
Yeah.
So medyo nasa kampo mo
Medyo
pagdating doon sa
nakalin
issue.
tayo ng konti doon. And
Medyo
also
Republican, no?
what happened to my own personal life, no? When I lost from 2008 to 2011. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I lost a lot of fortune in the U.S. Hard-earned
Highly
fortune.
leveraged ka. That means marami kang utang, kaya naipit ka doon sa...
Hindi, yung bahay ko na all of a sudden became underwater, you know. Masama ang tiyempo because nag-refinance ako.
Kaya nga, leverage ka.
Na-leverage ako.
Na-leverage ka.
Na-leverage ako. Nawala yung 401k ko at saka ng asawa ko. Mga ganong events. And all of this happened
401k
during Obama's time.
is a pension, di ba? Or of some sort? Or an investment vehicle?
401 is a pension. Kaya I'm supposed to be comfortable. I'm not supposed to be reinventing anymore. And now I'm a broadcaster. I have to reinvent myself because I have to continue working even as I have passed my 70 years. So my economics was wrecked under a liberal democratic regime of Barack Obama. And when Trump got into the picture, of course, he is challenging a lot of these things. He's challenging truth decay. I would like to repeat that, truth decay.
But I think even Trump is introducing changes in American policy that affects the world that may not be good for everybody too. Tulad nitong trade war, no? Sa aking tingin, yung kadalasan naman ng mga tao ang tingin kay Trump ay parang hindi alam ang ginagawa. I think he's doing what many economies have done in the past when they're trying to rebuild their economy, which is to close it slowly, generate internal employment. Hindi bale kung mataas ang presyo, basta't may employment ang tao.
Trump is basically balancing protectionism and globalism.
Yeah, but it might not work anymore because, as you said, no, yung cost of goods in the U.S. has been going up and it will continue to go up.
Hindi lang yun. Nagkamali siya ng pag-pick sa China, my personal opinion, because Alam mo, China can even close its doors, isolate itself. This is what it did at the end of the 1400s, and still survive a few more thousands of years of civilization. Why? Because of its massive, over 1 billion, almost 1.4 billion consumer base. And it's friends with the right people, like India, another 1.4 billion population. And then Brazil, no? Yung BRICS. Nandyan, ang Russia. So meron siyang backup eh. And its policy is basically non-aggressive, non-confrontational, away from warfare, no? And more on the economic sharing of whatever it has. So it keeps on expanding its market worldwide. And for the meantime, America has to fix things. America has to recover a lot of its own markets, even in Europe. The reason why Volkswagen is now the #1 brand in the world, kukonti nakakaalam nito, is basically because of the German products markets in Russia and China. In the U.S., nahuhuli ng Volkswagen. So when you look at from the perspective of world trade, even in brands that you see every day from underwear to cars, lamang ang China eh.
Yeah, pero Trump boasts of the American economy growing again by so many percentage and so on and so forth. Employment is growing, 200,000, 250,000 additional jobs and so on. What did you hear and what did you observe when you were inside?
Well, if China has a big consumer market in terms of quantity and flexibility, the U.S. has a very loyal market naman, yung Middle America. And I think this is what Trump is addressing, this whole changes in policies, no? From the very liberalist, globalist, economic picture of the past to a protectionist, bring back the industries that went to abroad and all that stuff. But you know, he cannot draw all of this in so short a time, and I don't think he can even do that in a very long time. Not all of them, because much of these people have also have their own vested interest to protect, their own profit motives. No? But I guess this movement is the one that is kicking a rethinking of American values among the people. And this is now being challenged. Ito nga, I don't want to go to the politics of the Supreme Court in the U.S., but basically the thinking that supports Brett Kavanaugh right now in the debates for the Supreme Court is hindi na basta-basta naniniwala mga tao ngayon sa fake news. They're questioning these allegations of Christine Ford. No? Because pagka ang Democrats ang nag-paint ng picture, ang dami mga allegations, wala namang prueba. They go by the passion of the moment. They go by the love of the people to be free and unimpeded in their ways and way of life. But the truth of the matter is at the expense of the country. And so I think in Trump, they see a little bit more of that love for country coming back. And of course, hindi naman nila pagbibigyan yun, no? And this kind of thinking reflects back to the economy. Because Trump has also challenged a lot of traditional values that have not been challenged before. Before, America used to be the leader in globalization, and as far as it affects us, privatization. But right now, their interests are protectionist. So this I don't think it's ambivalence. I think it's a questioning of old ideas and providing new concepts out of the box. Well, and let's just hope it works for America, because I don't want America to be destabilized.
Well, in summary, we have 1 minute. We have 1 minute in this first portion. In summary, what I see, and then you give your view. America is in a confused state today.
Yeah.
It doesn't really know where it's going. It reflects in the boastfulness, yung pagkayabang ni Trump na I think pagtatakip sa kanyang sariling insecurity at kalituhan sa pupuntahan ng Estados Unidos. Ano? Ikaw naman, anong tingin mo?
I think Trump is breaking barriers of old concepts. I don't think he's an economic expert in the sense of strategic planning and all that. I think he's merely moving in the reflexes of an ordinary businessman, running his country like a corporation, trying to balance things. I don't think he wants this trade war, but at the same time, there is a deep state, no, that is pressuring him to be a little bit more red, white, and blue, rather than talking to Putin or Xi Jinping, for instance, because they also want their own trade networks and access. They're building towards this. So they're in the process of creating a dissonance. And after this dissonance, I think, this confusion that you call, we will see a little bit more where America is really going. Ngayon, kumakapapa yan eh. Hindi nila sukat akalain na yung thousands of years ng civilization ng China would come up with a fast recovery towards leadership in the world economy, not just in the world politics.
Itong nakaraang 100 taon ng Estados Unidos, number 1.
Oo.
Kaya nalilito siya ngayon, hindi na siya number 1, pero pinipilit pa niya na isipin siya number 1 at gumagawa ng kung ano-ano mga paraan para manatili doon na imposible na po. So we'll take this break. We'll look at the trade war in our second segment.